All right, Saltmarsh Moon. Great session tonight. Not too much to report. If anything, I'm just going to touch on adopting monsters. Uh, Adventurers love adopting monsters. Beastmaster Ranger has her adorable whale hound creature. Um, like Wizard's got his pet cat. It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I don't know if it's all the Pokemon we played or just human instinct loving pets, but adventurers do love pets and monsters. Pets and monsters are tricky. Obviously, if they are not magical and can't just be resummoned over and over again, they end up either dying or becoming like an ongoing joke, like Sprinkles the weasel in Critical Role. Um, Area effect attacks are a thing. You don't bring your sweet baby pet squirrel with one hit point into a fight because massive damage for a squirrel is like 2 damage, so they will die. Um, when you're doing pets, you have to make a tough decision. Like how are we gonna handle it? Are we gonna let our pets just gonna scurry off screen, and then be there for hugs and snugs after the fighting is done? Or are you gonna be a hard ass and say, "Hey, you had your pet snail on you, and it is cooked alive by the Hellhound's fire. Guess you shouldn't have had that there. Pets are only for people who could summon special pets." Um, it's your choice. I think that as long as the pet is not contributing mechanically and it's like World of Warcraft vanity pet, right? I don't think there's a problem with like, hey, my pet magically disappears for combat or whatever. But if your pet is contributing in some way, then it runs the risk of anything that is actively participating. So that's kind of my take on it. But you have to, as always, communicate with your players. If a person's like, this defines my character, having a hamster named Boo that I think is a space hamster. Um, I think Boo actually was a space hamster, but still. Um, you just kind of have to, you have to say, cool, Boo doesn't do anything though. Like, besides, be cute and develop your character. That's cool. If Boo is like picking locks and picking pockets and solving puzzles and stuff like that, then Boo is gonna have to worry about rolling into initiative and taking area of effect damage. If Boo is just there for snuggles and cuteness and making the game more fun, then Boo just magically hides in your pocket when bad stuff goes down. So that's pets, right? What about intelligent monsters that really shouldn't be pets? What about like a baby dragon? What are you gonna do about that? A baby dragon is obviously a sentient creature. It is not a pet. Saying that it is a pet is sort of like, I don't know, saying a person's a pet, which some people are super into. Um, but other way it could be interpreted is that you're kind of keeping it as a slave, or a servant, or whatever, a vassal, however you want to do it. I've run high level games. We use strongholds and followers. People have gotten dragons as companions before. And again, if the followers are being brought into battle and they're contributing in a meaningful way, there's a chance that they're going to be killed. But I'm talking about lower level people adopting a powerful monster. Um, that could be a lot of fun. It could also be extremely unbalancing, but it could also bring a lot of like joy and interesting stuff to the table. In the case of my Saltmarsh Moon game, they have adopted this baby black dragon, and black dragons are traditionally very evil. Vutha Jesk, aka Eben Fang, is no different. He is extremely neutral evil. He is selfish. He is cruel. Like most black dragons, he only cares about himself, and he delights in the suffering of others. So it is kind of like having a very evil child that can squirt like acid out of its mouth. This character Skull. is enamored with the baby, and it has spread to this other black dragonborn, and now it's like my two dads with psychotic toddler. All of this is very enjoyable, but the evilness of this creature is definitely starting to show and wear on the rest of the party. Um, it is delicious, the tension that is being caused, but it is also a good thing to for me to bring up is that monsters are often monsters, right? Like you're gonna occasionally get your hobgoblin wizrobe that's got the heart of gold and the Dritz and complex, and he's a good guy and all that jazz. You're gonna on occasion get your mountain dwarf who is so greedy that it made his heart black with greed, and he started his own like mercenary company, and they are bloodthirsty and terrible. Like there are gonna be creatures, right, that play against their type, right? Maybe there's a werewolf with the heart of gold that is only looking out for the best interests of the people it cares about. I don't know. But more often than not, the creatures are classified a certain way because that is the way that they are. And when you are a player character and you are adopting these sorts of creatures into your life, you need to be understanding of that. They are wired a certain way. Uh, Ebon Fang is wired to delight in the suffering others. He is evil by the standards of the Sword Coast. He is an evil creature. I've had pirates try to adopt harpies to work on their ship. It didn't go well. Um, these are the things you have to keep in mind when you're dealing with monsters. They are called monsters for a reason. Um, don't get me wrong, it is always a fun narrative. It is always exciting and interesting to use monsters in a way that is not just let's fight all the time. But uh, like DMs and players alike need to know that on the whole, on the average, monsters are pretty close to the alignment that is suggested in the player's handbook. If the alignment is listed as neutral, the gates are wide open. But if there's a specific alignment there, that means as a species, or as a culture, or as a species and as a culture, they kind of favor that sort of behavior. Are there going to be odd ducks? Are there going to be people that operate outside of that? Absolutely. Could Ebon Fang be raised to have a heart of gold by his two dads? Maybe. But right now, he's going on his guts and his instincts, and they are telling him to do bad, mean, terrible stuff. So I guess that's my point. Two different things about pets. One, we covered in the first half. The second, we covered in the second half. Uh, Pets are an interesting and delightful part of D&D. In 5th edition, they can bloat your action economy, so be a little cautious about that. My Odyssey game has so many Pokemon, just so many Pokemon. But just keep things moving and communicate and enjoy playing the game. And I'll talk to you later.